Welcome to Aragonda. Ara is in Telugu is called half. In Konda is mountain, half mountain. That's how the village where I was born, my father was born, was called Aragonda. It is a holy place. Why that name half mountain came? They believe then when Hanuman was carrying Sanjeevani, a piece fell there. And even today, on top of the mountain, there is a temple for Lord Hanuman, where several thousand, sometimes 25, 30,000 people come there. A marvelous things happens near that temple. Everywhere when you go to temple, you want to tirtham. There's a huge tank there, and the lands below are owned by me and our family. Unfortunately, our village did not have rains for the last 10 years. Even 200-year-old trees were dried up. 1,000 feet you can't get water in the bore wells. But on top where Lord Hanuman temple is, there is a tank. This number of people, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 people who come there, they not only take the water for use there, then they think they carry it in cans. Even then, that tank on the top of the hill is still there. So I think that shows that Lord Hanuman is with us, and that's how people believe and visit the temple. In any case, I'm happy I was born there. My father was, well respected in the village, and as a village head, whatever you call him, had a wonderful village. Not so big those days, but people, we were a good lot of friends. Our cousins itself, my father's family was large, 4 brothers, 4 sisters and their children. In summer days, we used to be a huge number, 30, 40 of them sleeping on the terrace of the house. But the wonderful thing is, we mixed up with everyone in the village and had a great time. So it was a happy village where we enjoyed every minute of our stay. But there is another instance which I think needs, village those days had only school up to 3rd standard. So my father could afford, so a teacher used to come and teach us Ren and Martin, 21 into 21. We learnt all that, but he broke our knuckles. So, but in any case, we straight went and appeared in the district headquarters school and started my educational career at 6th standard. So, although I did not study in the village, I learnt to enter into 6th standard in the school. I think every bit of it, the people who moved with us had that heart which gave each other, that happiness and what we gave, and the sharing and happiness. That is the type that village had, that wonderful atmosphere. Anyway, I grew up, thanks to my parents, allowed me to get education and then become a doctor. They supported me to go abroad. So when I was abroad, I used to say every time we write letters to your parents, right? And if I get a prize or if I get a medal, I used to write them. My father was very fond of cars. So when I buy a new car, I used to put my children's picture and send the car. It all changed way back in 69. Just before my birthday, I sent a picture of a brand new Ford Deluxe with all my children on top of it. So I thought my father would feel very, very happy. The letter came, that when I opened that letter, normally the manager will write, so and so conveys, but this time he wrote himself and said, whatever you do, there are 2 people who enjoy it, meaning my mom and him. If you do something back home, how will that be? He didn't say come back, but the meaning was very clear. My boss said we should go, and my children were in no stage to protest. They were between 7 and 13, my 4 daughters. So we started winding up. In the next 4 months, we were back in India. So when we came back to India, I remember my professor of medicine who came and stayed with us in US, he said, "Come on, don't be stupid, you go back, you won't make 100 rupees here." I said, "I didn't come for 100 rupees. I came because it was my wish of my parents." Then I lost them. In the first year I lost my father, second year I lost my mother. So even if it was frustrating because there was nothing here, it was frustrating every time. So I had no way that I could get permission from them to go back. And second thing I thought what was troubling was this visa, the immigrant visa of US. I tore that, I think things changed. I started taking seriously the purpose for which I came back, and I think I started a good heart hospital. But then the heart hospital can only do some extent. But if they need surgery, like today, a cardiologist does all sorts of things. You can put 1 to 7 stents. But unfortunately, those days cardiologists had only the power to give medical treatment, make a diagnosis, give the medical treatment. But if they needed beyond, if the treatment failed, you need to send them. So I had a patient who was supposed to have gone to dental cooling in Houston, who is my guru, my friend and well-wisher. But in December of 79, 9th December 79, I lost him. You know why? He couldn't raise $50,000 to go to Houston. His wife and 2 children, 4-year-old daughter, 2-year-old son, were stunned. And I thought to myself, how many more are going to die because they can't raise $50,000? So I said, we must create. If Indian doctors are par excellent overseas, why can't we do this back home? So then everyone told me, Dr. Reddy, you already did the first crazy thing coming back. Now that you are a successful cardiologist, why are you doing this now? So I said, I need to. So, but in India, we are great. Whatever British gave us 2 things. They gave us English, they gave us bureaucracy. In both we beat them. So our bureaucracy was so strong, how nothing can change. They call me crazy. What do you mean? You want bank your hospitals to be funded? You want to make it as a public entity? What is all this? The customs duty exemption for exempt duty on medical equipment was called a luxury item, 370%. So anyway, we had a wonderful Prime Minister who loved this concept, saying, I will repeat, with the help, a hospital which would give care here for our people the same as they could get anywhere else. So she said, I love this concept because I'm talking about reversal of brain drain. He's willing to do that. So I think the rest was history. I can go on and on. But it took me, 3 months to get things done, get funding done. But my body paid the price. My BP used to be 180, 110. My resting issues used to be abnormal. My sugars were high. All of these. Then I said to myself, look, I need to look after myself too. So I did, whatever you call the diet, the meditation, the yoga, all of it. 4 of my angiograms are normal now. My blood pressure every day is 140/70. So I think it can happen. So I'm trying to tell this. But later on, if the whole healthcare changed in India, it is because of Rajiv Gandhi. When I wrote a letter to him, I wish I had done a BD factory or a beer factory instead of healthcare. If health has to come along with your vision for 21st century, we need 3. First is hospital should be funded like any other trader industry. And number 2, when somebody gets sick, it's not him, his wife, family or friends, to take him to a good doctor and make payments for it. And third was, if somebody had treatment and their employees paid, it was treated as income tax in his hand. He changed the pen and struck it. So I think today, healthcare, whatever has happened to healthcare. There's thousands of hospitals, many hundreds of clinics, and all of these, all because of that one man. So what we have done, demonstrated to the world today, is our outcomes in hospitals, whether it's heart surgery or heart transplants or liver transplant, kidney transplant, all major things, our outcomes are equivalent or better than the best centers anywhere in the world. I compare my Apollo to Cleveland Clinic. Our heart surgery outcomes are equal or better than Cleveland Clinic. In all of it, we have attained that standards because naturally we had that power. But here, that motivation was to bring the best out of us. So that all happened. When all this was happening, I thought to myself, saying, what do I do for the place where I was born? I used to visit. So I never used to go, I used to see. I mean, what can we do for this? So first I thought, let me eliminate that one thing which all others did not have, and 5 of us, me and my brothers and cousins, had, by having this teacher come and teach English. So thanks to Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, with his support we established a school with English medium, brilliant. And, I saw it 2-3 times. The students are so happy. So I told them this. I said, now nothing prevents you. You could be one up on Dr. Reddy. So you don't have that language barrier that you don't know English. So anyway, that was one. Second thing I thought, we are in the business, I am saying, we are doing so much for people, not only for our country, more than 150 countries people are coming to us. That's the time once I thought to myself, I thought we must make a difference to the health of people of our village. So in this place, suddenly I thought to myself, I think, sometimes this streak of, not a streak of genius, streak of thought comes to me. My mother was born in 7 kilometers away in a place called Thavanampalli. And today the whole thing is called Thavanampalli mandal, which is 39 villages. I said, I'm already doing something, school and all that for 6-10 villages, and I've started a hospital there for those people. I said, now why not look at the health for this whole mandal, which is 39 villages, 69,000 people from birth to the last breath. So I think this is where I thought of it when I went to the village. And throughout the journey, right up to Madras, by the time I came to Chennai, I thought saying, I must do this. So I shared with a few people again. I said, what are you talking, sir? There is a governmental, this one, there is PHC, there are sub-centers, all of these. Maybe you could accelerate, maybe we could call the Chief Minister to put right doctors, this and that. I said, no, health is not just medicines. Health is to give total happiness. So this is why I said we must do for them total health, which is trying to give for the 69,000 people physical health, mental health, spiritual health, ecological health and holistic health. And of course I had number of people who started giving me ideas, whichever is nice. From here, General Mandeep Singh, he was our medical director with medical services here. He had community medicine as his specialty. He made a significant contribution. Now Deepa is pushing all the programs, but all of it now, so it is everybody's project. It is not Dr. Reddy's. It is Dr. Reddy's village mandal, father, mother's village mandal. But now everyone is happy to hear that such a thing is we are attempting. The Chief Minister is so happy, Chandrababu Naidu garu, and so are the central ministers, saying, what can we do? That day Menaka and they asked my daughter, what can I do for you? I believe something is happening in Dr. Reddy's village. So I am happy that there is that amount of interest. I believe that we should now give a totally different meaning to health. So this is where we started a program for the country and to the world, what's called life is priceless. Do you know the cost of your life? Everybody asks, they say, the ladies say we are precious. The man says I am priceless because I have achieved so much. But I think there is a great scientist from Yale University who went about and analyzed each of our parts, the brain, 550 billion neurons. He put a price for each of those neurons. Eyes have so many cells, receptor cells. Similarly, the nose, so many billions and billions of cells. When it came to the lungs, there are trillions of cells which throw away our bad thing, carbon dioxide, and from this, so-called polluted air, it takes only the oxygen. How do you put a price to that? Trillions of those cells. And I'm a cardiologist. An adult heart pumps 40 miles of blood vessels every day, and this pump, it's the size of a fist, works from birth to the last breath. How do you put a price to that? He put a price valuing all of those. Similarly, the liver, the kidney which throws off all of these. And so he added up all the parts and he came to what according to us looks a very reasonable price. And you know what the price is? $6,000 trillion. If I write that in crores of rupees, I think I need 100 walls like this to put those zeros. But I think everybody should realize this. So this is why we are trying to tell them life is priceless and you are worth this, because he also added another word, a dead body costs 75 cents. It's a functioning body for which he has put a price. So if the price is that much, I think we need two things. If I believe in God, if God has given us this great creation, what more can we do with this? First, in what we do, how can we do things bigger and better and greater and greatest? And second thing is, we need to look after it. I told an incident the other day. One day my grandson was having dinner with me in the night. He has a small little puppy, which his wife brought from New York, and it was sneezing. So suddenly he told me, "Grandpa, I must go a little early because I must take this to the vet." Look at this. A dog sneezing, you take to the vet. A car misfires, you send to the garage. What about you? So we need to bring that in people, saying I have this wonderful creation. Not only I will make the great use of it in what I do, but I need to look after it. People don't go for a checkup. You know why? Not because they can't afford 5,000-10,000 rupees. They are afraid that they will find out something. Isn't it crazy? But a car, if you find out something, you want to get repaired because you want to be safe in the journey. But in this body, somehow there is that fear. This is where we feel that we need to get that out of fear and make him 100% physically well. That is one aspect. Physically well will automatically, but if you see what I am telling our government and our country and the world is, life is priceless. Here they are called Live Healthy India, but I am going to call it later on Live Healthy Global Health, happiness, because that's what it's going to give. If you are healthy, your family is happy, your country is happy, because in what the country is facing, the so-called lifestyle disease or NCDs, is terrible. The clock has started ticking from 1st of 2015. 36 million people will die annually from this so-called NCDs. What are these NCDs? We are diabetic capital of the world, heart capital of the world, cancer capital of the world, and infections. So I think we need to check this. Even if you build, I told our Prime Minister and the ministers, even if you multiply 10 times over our healthcare system, we can't match it. Only way we can prevent is to do a war on NCDs. This is why I asked all the Apollo families saying, be ambassadors of health. Let us take this message to your family, your society, our country, saying you need a checkup. If you need a checkup, you can catch it in a heart disease early enough to prevent a heart attack. Cancers, we can declare saying no Indian lady died of cancer cervix. The Prime Minister said, what? I said, yes, if you screen them, you can completely avoid death from any cancer. And UK announced by 2050 there will be no cancer death. So I think this is what screening will help, and bringing them that awareness on their health. I think this is what we need. That's what I have taken to my village. So that's all about health. But more important on just physical health, I think there is so much that we need to say. There is something called spiritual health. How did I cure my blood pressure, my resting in reverse the heart disease? Because of using my spiritual thing. Meditation, yoga. We have exported this. We need to import back yoga and meditation. We have a CSR service called Billion Hearts Beating. You know what that is? Eat right, exercise right, do a health checkup, import back yoga and meditation, and throw the death stick away. That is the smoking. That is Billion Hearts Beating. All the NCC cadets have taken the pledge, and everyone who takes the pledge accepts to do these 5 things. Something like that, I think we need to bring that type of a social revolution. Social revolutions have happened using the media, throwing off the governments and killing the dictators and killing the rulers. But I think what we need is to use that social transformation to bring this change and good health and happiness. Sometimes you feel you are happy when you only possess things, but we don't realize how happy you will be if the family is happy. Here, I think we say now, world is our kutumbam. If the Vasudeva Kutumbam, if that is what I am looking for, is to see the whole world is happy. In many ways, we have structured it very nicely. We have not completely covered the 69,000, but for whomever 30,000 people who have been done, they have been completely screened. Whatever the check, if they come to Chennai, Hyderabad, or Delhi, what check he undergoes, the same checkups were done by them. And through more modern methods, electronic ECG, automatically the ECG and the report is going on to his file. If ultrasound is done to them, electronic ultrasound. So we have done this and used the most modern methods. So this is where I am happy. So what it's going to do is, these medical records will be a huge data bank. Data bank not just for my village, I think it's a data bank which will tell or foretell, the disease pattern, disease burdens, and how you look after and prevent disease pattern. We have one called the Birmingham study, which is a couple of centuries old. I think now we have designed a very nice one, basically for their good health. But it indirectly have all this big data, which will make a huge impact. But what I want to see is all people happy, and hope Aragonda people will happiness will spill all over the country and the world. Thank you.